I always recommend when you're looking for someone to help you, guide you through this maze of options, ask for referrals in terms of what are other families. And I would specifically ask for, I want to know about your hardest ones. I want to know about the ones that you had to work hard. And what
Hmm.
was the outcome? And it doesn't have to be all rosy. We're human beings. We know
Right.
that things can go sideways. That's the uniqueness of each story.
Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network, heard across the USA. And we are here with USA Connected, Daphne Davis from Pinnacle Senior Placements, who is a referral advisor, helper to families that are in that quandary of, when I say families, seniors looking for the next step, dealing with so many different moving parts of trying to figure out what are the next step, whether it's to stay home and get care, maybe it's to make modifications. I know there's, people are building mother-in-law units in their homes, all different types of scenarios. You are an amazing resource for all of these scenarios, Daphne. And so I know that you are nationally connected, and I want to talk a little bit about how you are, and how we can help families across America.
So, one of the things that I have the pleasure of being is representing NPRA, a National Placement and Referral Alliance. And I happen
Mhm.
to be the president of the chapter for the state of Washington. Um, it is an organization that is a trade association specifically for referral and placement agencies.
Mhm.
And one of the key things of what drew me to NPRA is that they do have a code of ethics that they are really developing nationwide, not just from state to state, but to have a nationwide kind of standard, much
Mhm.
like you would think of the Bar Association for attorneys. We're
Right.
certainly not at that level of sophistication, but that's the direction that we're headed. And
Mhm.
so, in having that,
So important.
yeah, it is. It's really important. In having that connection and the allegiance to NPRA, it allows me to be able to have vetted people in most states in the United States that can provide the level of guidance that I would want for any of my clients. And
Absolutely.
so that really does my heart well in terms of being able to be a part of Answers for Elders and
Mhm.
having this nationwide presence that we can start to establish a litmus, a benchmark of what consumers can expect.
Mhm. Mhm.
The other piece that MPRA does is really focuses on legislation about family choice, being able to protect our seniors and not being bombarded by constant information that's not appropriate or feeling like they don't have choice in
Amen
making
to
their
that.
own decisions. And so that's something that MPRA is very, very focused on. And so I
Right.
wanted to share with you that information on how can I help people nationwide when I'm sitting in the Seattle greater area.
Right, right. And I think that's one of the things that we're excited about potentially working with NPRA because, again, we get phone calls and answers for elders all the time. I get phone calls, especially on weekends and I'll have somebody from just last week. I had somebody from Illinois reach out, and so obviously, we want to make sure that we have the right people that we can connect with, and that's our hope through Daphne and the National Association that has this code of ethics and principles that they and value system that they will always do right for our seniors, because to me it doesn't do us any good to refer to somebody that doesn't subscribe to what we do.
Yeah, yeah, it just makes you have another move or get scared again. At the very beginning
Mhm.
of this
Mhm.
show, we were talking about what's going on with families, and I can
Mhm.
tell you every week I have families that are desperately trying to rely on their own experiences, their own ability to process information and be discerning about information,
Mm-hmm.
and still coming to the place of, and it's kind of, and I'm going to make light of this, but kind of, I give.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready for some help. And it's very hard to know who I'm supposed to trust these days.
Yep.
And so there's some ways of just vetting people through NPRA, National Placement and Referral Alliance. There's a test that's designed specifically for referral agencies. And you can look for a little CPRS, which is Certified Placement and Referral Specialist. And it's very akin to little letters behind someone's name,
Mm-hmm.
CSA, Certified
Mm-hmm.
Senior Advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between the two is the CSA is broad. It's for
Right.
many, many different disciplines of help and support to our senior communities. And the CPRS is specific to
Right.
people like myself.
Right. Right.
So that's one thing that you can look for. I always recommend when you're looking for someone to help you, guide you through this maze of options, ask for referrals in terms of what are other families. And I would specifically ask for, I want to know about your hardest ones. I want to know about the ones that you had to work hard. And what
Mm-hmm.
was the outcome? And it doesn't have to be all rosy. We're human beings. We know
Right.
that things can go sideways. That's the uniqueness of each story.
Mm-hmm.
But just find
Families
out.
sometimes aren't easy to work with, too.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're at odds.
Yeah.
Sometimes father is digging in his heels and everybody's stressed out to the max, and it causes strife between them. And
It
I've
does.
seen it a million times.
Yeah. I just had a family in Minnesota and the daughter was like, "You know what? My mom just came out of the hospital, went to a rehab. Her coverage is done." And her thought was, "Let's bring her home so that we can get her strong so that we can have her go to a community." Exactly the opposite of what should have happened. And
Mm-hmm.
so through education, she's like, "I get it, Daphne. I was thinking backwards." So just taking the time to
Yeah.
have a conversation with someone
Yeah.
doesn't cost anything. In fact,
Right.
most, if not all, referral agencies are free to our consumers. There is
Yes.
no fee.
Yeah, and you know what's, yeah, because you guys are paid like realtors, which is
Yes.
great. So you are a service that is free to families. But on the other hand, it's like you're going to help them, guide them with what are the questions that you need to ask? What are the considerations that you need to look for? And also, if you're touring a community, like I know that there's one organization that I've heard stories of that they thought they were going to pay so much a month, and then they get their bill and there's all these different little extra fees that they've been given that they didn't realize that they were going to have to pay. And so
From the
those,
housing and care community. Yes.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. And so those are things that, what to look for. You have a great partner with someone like a Daphne, and certainly we're excited to have you. Daphne, I want to say thank you so much for joining us this hour. And to those that are listening, we're going to have Daphne on often this year, because I think this is really an important thing to do. So in the meantime, Daphne, how can people reach you?
So you can reach me at my 800 number, 855 number of 734 1500, and also at my website, which is Pinnacle, like the peak of the mountain, Pinnacle Senior Placements with an S.com. And you can find out lots about myself and the team that we have here in Seattle.
Fabulous.
Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.